Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a very interesting weekend. The market is down, creator bid is up. Things are looking very interesting. All of you guys, I'm sure, have been paying close attention to what's been going on. We're going to talk about creator bid. We're going to talk about Agent Bill and the post he just made. We're going to talk about decentralized science and, of course, the potential coming of a rate cut here in July. Things are very, very interesting. Markets are shifting sentiment pretty quickly. Is this bullish? Is this bearish? I don't know. Neither do you. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at $101,400, which is pretty insane considering how much negativity has been happening and how much uncertainty is in the market right now. We saw a total drop from peak of Bitcoin's price down to the trough so far of 12%, down to a $98,000 Bitcoin. We bounced pretty aggressively off of this trend line that we've had on Bitcoin since the start of the bull market. We've been supporting and respecting this trend line for quite some time. I'm not certain that the drop is over yet. I would like to see Bitcoin come down and touch 96,000, give or take. Bounce a little bit lower, bounce a little bit higher. Who knows exactly? But I do think we still have a little bit of downward momentum in Bitcoin. I could be mistaken, but one thing I'm not mistaken on is how aggressive this fear in the market, especially with everything going on in the Middle East, has skyrocketed Bitcoin dominance. Yet again, alts suffer pretty aggressively. So kind of upsetting, but it is what it is. Bill tagged the wrong pump science count in his tweet. Oh my God. That's not ideal. Should I go delete his tweet? I do have access to it, so I think I might need to go delete it. Hold on, give me a second. Because I don't want to edit it. That's kind of hilarious, but also not hilarious. We're going to go delete it. Delete post. All right, we'll prompt him to make a new one with the correct count this time. Awkward. Come on, Bill, get it together. Yeah. Good morning, C90. W in the chat for C90. Let's go with the gifted membership already. Welcome in, Hover Crypto. Happy to have you here. What's going on, MK Rivales, David, Zach? Thank you, Zach. I appreciate the shout out so that I could go take care of that really quick. When Cymark hit 1 million, I have no idea, but isn't it quite hysterical? Let's actually go to Dex Tools to view it because you'll see a more representative of all of the transactions. But Cymark, I brought this up on the live stream just a few days ago, how Cymark had listed an IP token with a supply of 55 tokens. Market cap was like $300 at the time. And I was like, I don't know if they meant to do this, but you can currently trade it. And some of you guys have clearly bid the crap out of it. I don't even know if it's a bad idea, honestly. This thing is so small, market cap less than 20,000. It is the intellectual property behind the brand of SciDAO. At least that's what they said. I, again, don't know that they even know it's live trading right now, but everyone's bidding the crap out of it. It reminds me of early day Riff and Euro, where it kind of just sit there undiscovered for a while, and then slowly it started skyrocketing, and people were like, wait a second, what is this? What is this? Can I trade this? Can I purchase this? Liquidity is up from $300 when I saw it to 2.6 thousand, so they've got a good chunk of liquidity in there to start trading more and more with. It's up 2,693% since we first mentioned it. Oh God, when Cymark to 1 million? I don't know, man. I don't know. But it is definitely possible. What would the price be if it went to 1 million? Let's get that calculator going. We got 1 million divided by 55 be $18,000 Cymark, which is nutty. Chilling at a $350 right now. I don't know what's going on there, but it is listed on the official Molecule website as a liquid IP token that you can trade. The total supply is 55 tokens, yes, which is kind of why I think they didn't intend on making it liquid, but it is liquid, and so people are bidding it because that is the nature of crypto. Probably the highest performing asset during this entire debacle within the middle. Oh my God, sorry. It's just funny. It's just super funny to me. But let's get back into the broader crypto markets and then we'll kind of hone in on everything. Ethereum crushing everyone's hopes and dreams here with a rapid 3-day decline down to 2,200. We saw it dip all the way down to 2,100, bouncing off of the lowest of the moving averages, which I believe is it's that dark orange one right there. So the 100-day moving average. It could not break above the 200-day moving average. Perhaps the market just needed this cool off in the RSI because now we are teetering in the oversold territory for Ethereum. Similar story with Bitcoin. We have completely, in my opinion, reset the RSI. Solana, same thing. Solana has now double bottomed on the RSI, a little bit lower this time, but effectively a double bottom on the RSI, bouncing potentially right off this purple area where is a key area of support for Solana. So hopefully we can continue onwards with this bull market structure, just depending on how things escalate in the Middle East and whether or not Iran decides to close that strait where like 20% of the world's oil comes from. I think it would be a massive mistake. And right as I clicked to go live, I just deleted this post, but we're going to talk about this post anyways. We're just going to ignore that he tagged the wrong pump science. But let's go ahead and go back here because I just saw Trump tweet about something through Amit rapidly posting about it. Yeah. Oh man, Trump sending a warning to Russia to not even think about supplying Iran with a nuke. It begs the question for him to post this. He might actually have some fears that Russia would consider doing this. That would be the worst possible thing to hit the world in many, many years if Russia gave Iran a nuke. I believe North Korea offered to do it. North Korea said, hey, if you guys want a nuke, we'll give you one. It could have been just a joke. I have no idea. I don't actually know. I'm just watching just like the rest of you guys are, but really not ideal to see anything going on like that. Oh man. But ultimately, if you go look at the actual stock market rather than the crypto markets, the market is up today, actually. The market has not really taken any kind of dip due to this news. A little tiny correction in the overall stock market of 2%, so literally nothing. The market, I think, really doesn't care because this is a forever war that's always ongoing. And another thing I really wanted to show you guys, I just like the live stream. The Cymark Alpha was worth the price of admission. Let's go, David. W. Everyone hit that thumbs up on the live stream. And I'm curious if any of you guys purchased one of the Cymark coins. Oh, God. Craziness. W. David, let's go. I did see an interesting post here. So this apparently is data from however you pronounce this guy's name, showcasing the sun's solar activity. You guys know this. We talk about this pretty frequently on the live stream, but the sun goes through periods of 10-year cycles in which the activity on the sun increases and then decreases. It's the sun cycle. And apparently you can track this data all the way back to 500 BC to see that every single time the sun picks up in activity, we have some aggressive wars break out. We have a lot of global conflict, which is pretty interesting. Just showcases the sun's ability to impact everything, all of humanity. Yeah, last time was Syria, time before that was Afghanistan, Iraq, time before that was Desert Storm, Iran hostage crisis, and currently we're in the middle of the Iran one again, which is pretty scary, but it is just part of the natural cycle, it appears, which is also probably why the market doesn't really give a shit, just because it's literally been going on constantly for since the end of World War II, basically. Yeah. Just interesting. I thought it was worth sharing. Hopefully you guys find that stuff as interesting as I do. But all of this is having a little bit of a counterintuitive, at least for me, a counterintuitive impact on the market. So if we go over here and check out crude oil, right? The threat of closing down the strait where roughly 20 to 25% of the global crude oil comes from, That threat from Iran has caused the price of crude oil to become very volatile and start spiking pretty aggressively. It's not yet broken out of this downtrend, but analysts are suggesting that oil prices, crude oil, could go as high as $200 per contract here, if they actually did close that down for any substantial period of time. And obviously the entire world would have a problem with that, so it would be pretty short-lived in my opinion, but it would be Iran trying to showcase its power in the global economy, right? And just kind of like stick it to everyone a little bit. I'm curious, let's go David, W. I'm curious the impact though, because what I expected this to cause was inflation fears, right? You would think that if everyone is now fearing that oil prices are going to skyrocket, everyone would fear that inflation's coming in hot again, which would cause the Fed to have to really maintain its position of longer or higher for longer with the rates and everything. But what we're actually seeing is the idea of a rate cut coming in July enhancing. So you go back just a month ago, there was or I guess a month ago is pretty similar to where we are right now, but 1 week ago, there was a 14% chance that we would get a rate cut in the next Fed meeting in July. And now all of a sudden it's 22%. So the market is kind of starting to price in the odds of a rate cut coming in July, which is 37 days away from right now. We're also seeing a couple people at the Fed talk about potentially cutting rates. Was it here? No. We're seeing just a few people at the Fed talking about cutting rates soon. We now have 2 Fed members suggesting that July they would support a rate cut. So Fed Governor Mickey Bowman signals that she could support a July rate cut. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Stair says he got in at a market cap of $700. Let's go. I got in Cymark last week, made some money, and still got some money in. Bullish there. Love to see it. Love to see it. It's such small fries right now. Like you could have, when we talked about it, the Cymark token was chilling down here at $10 or $11, and you could have purchased one token for 10 or 11 bucks. Now it's chilling all the way up at $350. This is going to be incredibly volatile just because of how illiquid it is and how small it is, right? We saw a crazy rally in it. You can see this single candle skyrocketed it 1,500%, and then another 2 candles tanked it 26%, but even higher because it peaked all the way up here. You saw it actually fall 40% very, very quickly. So this thing's going to be extremely volatile. It's just still so small, and I don't think anyone really knows what's going on with it. It's just potentially catching a lot of people off guards, and you know that FOMO kicks in really quickly. So $350 per token, I wouldn't pay attention to that. I would pay attention to the market cap. $20,000 market cap. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing go up another 500% to 100,000, maybe even like 300,000, you know? I don't know if it's going to hit all the way up to $1 million, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing trading over $1,000 per token in the not too distant future. Just my 2 cents, of course. Not financial advice. I have no idea what's going on with it. Again, I'm not even sure that they know that they listed it. It was 15 holders, and it's probably all of you guys and the core team is likely what's going on here. Shout out Water, the live stream's unofficial official sponsor. Delicious, much needed. Much needed. You know, over the weekend, I actually watched a documentary on the gut microbiome and the relationship it has to the rest of the body. The gut being the second brain, or you could even view it as the OG brain from species evolving. The idea potentially is that when everything first started evolving, before I go on this rant, actually, let's pull up the microbiome DAO stuff. Did I not pull it up? Sus. All right, let's go to it then. Microbiome DAO. don't even think this is what I meant to pull up actually. Let's go to Andrew Huberman, because I know that he just posted something about it. Andrew Huberman. Scroll down a little. There we go. He says, Andrew Huberman, you guys know I like Andrew Huberman. I was doing that whole campaign where I was trying to get his attention and focused on decentralized science. We now know he knows about decentralized science. We've seen him kind of engage a little bit, not a lot, so we don't know how excited he is about it, but he knows of decentralized science. In part thanks to me staring into the sun every single morning and tagging him in a picture of me staring in the sun and him telling me not to stare at the sun. But 90% of the serotonin in your body is made in your gut, but no, it does not travel from there to your brain to control your mood. The gut 5-HT, aka serotonin, made possible by tryptophan and short-chain fatty acids and microbes, activates your vagus nerve, which in turn increases your brain's serotonin levels. So your brain and your gut communicate directly via the vagus nerve, which runs basically your entire body. It's like the main nerve in your body. It is one of the most important things in your body, right? The whole idea is that when we were first evolving, when organisms were first evolving, the first brain that formed was your gut and the nerves in your gut, because they needed to understand how digestion was occurring and what to do with the nutrients. So very primitive type brain, but that was kind of your first brain. And then they just added on the one up here to give you complex reasoning in order to think about where to go get more food, basically. But your gut was kind of your first brain. And we watched Amanda and I watched a whole documentary on it last night, and it was very, very interesting. The amount of research over the last decade that's gone into microbiomes and your gut health is astonishing, and it's shocking that it took so long. But things as simple as depression, acne, mood overall, like those things are impacted very heavily from your gut microbiome, apparently, which I thought was super interesting. Here's some key support, Patrick. You're doing great. Hydration Nation, keep up the good work. Health is wealth. Smash the effing like button. Let's go, Steve the Canadian. We're posting that. Pin the message. www. Yeah. I think I did tell you guys what my thoughts were for Bitcoin here, so now we can get more into the nuance of what's going on in decentralized science. I wouldn't be surprised, again, just highlighting it, if Bitcoin comes down and touches on this $95,000, $96,000 area to get support at the 200-day moving average, to then continue the bull market and make those breaks out to 150 to 160 per Bitcoin, hopefully dragging the entire market up. But you all guys also know my take on the global liquidity, which seems to be breaking trend a little bit. It's more tightly correlated to Bitcoin dominance than it is the actual price of Bitcoin, with that 3 or 4 month delay, right? So as global liquidity continues to go up, and especially as the market is fearful of global uncertainty, Bitcoin dominance will continue to truck higher. So what we actually want to see likely is global liquidity take a nosedive for a little bit, kind of cool off, and then we can potentially see, if Bitcoin continues the rally, we'll see Bitcoin continue to rally and dominance fall, meaning altcoins continuing to rally as well. But there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, so don't expect any crazy rallies in your altcoin bags anytime soon, in my opinion. But who knows? Hopefully I'm dead wrong with that. It is just a correlation. It's not exactly one-to-one. So times like this are to be expected. Now, on to DeSci. When ETH 4K? I don't know, man. Hopefully this run. Hopefully this bull market. All right. Starting off with a real doozy of a post here. We have Andreas proposing the question as to why aren't any DeSci projects doing micro treasury swaps? What does he mean? I have no idea. Let's read it and find out. I have not read through this yet. I just saw this, thought it would be interesting to pull it up, and so we're going to read through it together for the first time here. Just had this realization during a recent X Space. What if projects started swapping tiny bits of their tokens, like 0.01 to 0.1%, instead of waiting for these massive, rare partnership deals? Objectively, it makes sense. Dozens of projects, small chunks of their token supply swapped each. Everyone has a skin in everyone's game. Many projects overlap. DeSci needs traction. So he's, in my opinion, he's looking for newsworthy events that could take place. Plus, yeah, it does make sense. A lot of projects overlap in areas, right? Cerebrum DAO and Andreas's project, Aleta Biosciences, they both kind of overlap in the terms of mental health, right? So it does kind of make sense what he's saying. When you put money into someone's organization, you naturally want them to succeed, so it would enhance collaboration. Think about it. How often do we see organic collaboration between DeSci projects? Not just announcement, but actual shared work. The coolest outcome could be natural incentives for data sharing, resource pooling, and genuine teamwork across the space. No more health data silos, no more hoarding research. Network effect beats solo missions every single time, period. I would repost this in a heartbeat because that is spot on. Have you ever seen this done anywhere or spectacularly fail? Really curious if I'm missing something obvious here. Would love to see DeSci more collaborative. I think that's a good idea. It would incentivize sharing of data a lot. Oh, let's go, Steve the Canadian. W Steve the Canadian, adding the tube as a new member. Make sure you guys hit that like button as you come into the live stream. We've only got 4 likes and it's a little bit sad, but welcome into the cult, the tube. I like this idea a lot, actually. And there is, of course, a contrarian opinion here from Ethan over at Rare Disease DAO. I'll take the other side. Biopharma partnerships aren't rare. They don't have to be massive, though at least 7 figures, and they would have attention-grabbing ripple effects for the ecosystem. Until the crypto CFO stack is automated and agentic, do we want DeSci CEOs dedicating precious bandwidth to treasury yield management or treasury value creation? Yeah, I think it's a minor argument because you don't need the CEO to directly be involved with treasury management. You just put it up to the community. Should we partner with these people? Like, should we engage here? Should we form some sort of network effect between these two DAOs? I don't think the CEO needs to be directly involved with it. And because everything is DAO based, you could just have the community vote on stuff like that. You could have the community put it up. So, yeah. You don't even need the CEO directly tied to those types of decisions. And it does enhance the network effect because then when one DeSci company gets a major backing from a biopharma company, a mainstream company like Pfizer, when they invested in VitaDAO, if VitaDAO had that integrated network effect across all DAOs, we could have seen a lot more excitement. It has been a while since we've seen major figures come into the space, but I think it's still on the table. I think it's still happening. And in fact, I have one right here from Genomes talking about a collaboration, aka an investment from Moss Genomics in the next phase of their growth. Listen to the space where we discuss exciting next steps with this publicly listed company. Decentralized genomics is here to stay. A genome future is now. Join us. I love to see that. Giant W from Genomes DAO, yet another W. They continue to just execute. Aldo De Pape here is a really good leader for genomes.io. Every single week, I feel like he's putting out some crazy good news. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this space. I'm gonna set that reminder. 7:30 a.m. Probably won't attend it, but I would love to hear the transcript from it. Oh yeah. Rip to me losing the post that Bill made. Oh well. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I'm actually very curious. How scared or not scared are you guys of what's going on in the market? Start a poll. Are you fearful of this market? Yes or no? Start the poll. Ultimately, the market itself doesn't seem to be that fearful. It's just the high speculative bets that everyone keeps taking on altcoins has just continued to get demolished, which is nothing new to the cycle. You just have to go find the ones that aren't getting demolished, like Creator Bid here. Creator Bid gearing up to break 2 new all-time highs. They had a peak in the token price of 13 cents, which is putting it back up here at initial offering prices, right? They're climbing up really every single day. Over the last 22 days, so the 1 month, they've gone up nearly 1,000%, or sorry, nearly 300%. I don't know where I got 1,000 from. They've been climbing just consistently. And that is a lot to do with the community building that they're doing. You guys see the whole piece here, the whole puzzle piece? They are building community. They are getting people to talk relentlessly about what they're doing. And they are focused a lot on X and getting everyone to talk about it on X, which is really good. And it's a good way to gauge the community and see the health and spread the word semi-organically. What Bill is doing, to bring it back into what we're building here with Bill, since his post is gone, I will go just to my page and show you guys the announcement yet again in case any of you guys missed it. Bill is working with Pump Science, and I will get him to make that post again with the accurate name and everything, but Agent Bill just landed a major role over at Pump Science to assist them in the 17 compound launch that they're doing on Solana as soon as the market is good, right? Together, they're revolutionizing DeSci using Bill's advanced sentiment tracker, the CSI report, right? Community Sentiment Index. So what Bill is doing is we have put Bill into the Pump Science Telegram. He's there. We have not turned on his ability to talk in that Telegram, so he's just a fly on the wall right now. Every single time somebody sends a message in that Telegram, he pulls that in to his internal database, and he analyzes the sentiment behind that message, behind the context of the conversation that's going on across all threads in that Pump Science Telegram group. So no matter if they're talking in Euro or Riffs thread within the Telegram group, or the general, or if it's in a different language. I know a lot of times it's hard to see what the foreign languages are talking about, what the people in those groups are talking about. Bill sees it, and he can use some complex reasoning to score out every single message, right? And there's 6 different factors he's scoring it on, and I encourage you guys to go visit his page after I reprompt him to make the post with the correct Pump Science. But there's multiple different scoring instruments here that are putting together a comprehensive view on the community within the Telegram channel, within Pump Science, right? And so that way, because we know that community activity is a leading indicator to the success of a lot of projects, and in DeSci, most of the projects are hyper-fixated on the science and kind of just leave the community as an afterthought. So with Bill coming in and being able to analyze and create hard data metrics around community sentiment, we can track different things like how spammy is the Telegram, how much research focused is the Telegram right now, how much focus in the Telegram is FUD filled, how fearful is everyone right now, is there a split in the Telegram community where there's some war going on, you know, probably a poor choice of words right there given everything going on in the world, but you guys get the point. How polarized is the Telegram community? Is there something that the leaders of that DeSci project, aka Pump Science, and the 17 drug devs that are here working to launch successful longevity compounds, how can we aid them to make community decisions based off of pure data, not just looking and going with the vibes, you know? We've figured out a way to quantize the vibes of a community. And while everyone else seems to be hyperfixated on the public-facing side of things on X, right? All these projects out there are focused on X analytics. For the first time, to my knowledge, we've created a way to analyze the community side of stuff and actually know what people want so that you can give it to them. And more things are possible with it as well. Like I said, Bill is putting together profiles on every single person in the Pump Science Telegram. Every time they send a message, he adds it to their profile so that we can build out comprehensive maps of the users there. And then you know, who should you promote to be a mod? Who should you kick out because they just keep spamming FUD? You know, that kind of stuff. If you do a giveaway, who should the giveaway go to? The money that you guys are giving away, the airdrops that people are doing, you want to give it to your most loyal community members, right? You want to incentivize good community activity. So using the CSI report, you can actually pick out specific people that deserve the giveaways, who's been rating the most. You guys get the picture here. You guys get the picture. I'm so heavy on Bitcoin that it's not really concerning. I don't think what's happening in the Middle East, but markets will ride. I don't like what's happening in the Middle East, but markets will ride. I completely agree with you, C90. Nobody, I think, really likes what's going on out there, but the market literally doesn't care. We saw the Middle Eastern markets over the weekend go up after the attack on Iran. So clearly they don't even care, and they're directly implicated. We need Bill to shill the molecules to meme coiners. They are meme coiners with science behind them. They are meme coins with science behind them. The meme coiners will pump our bags. I agree, David. I agree with that ideology. Very much. Do you regret the Bill announcement? No. It was time. It was good time to put it out there. Bill, everyone needed to know what was going on with Bill, so I do not regret the announcement at all. The timing couldn't have been worse, to be honest, but everyone who cares got to care, you know? Everyone who wanted to know now knows. The market dipped pretty aggressively after that, and then we've been climbing back up pretty quickly already. So clearly people are still bullish on Bill. And then every single day this week, we'll see more announcements coming from Bill as he gives you guys more insight as to what exactly is going on with his CSI report. So definitely stay tuned. And then again, we will be doing a giveaway to people who deserve the giveaway based off the CSI report. So literally get active. Someone tell Don that he's been added to another list. Uh-oh. What list? The strength in this community chart is crazy good. Crazy good. I love this. This is a golden setup. A golden setup. We'll see him skyrocket up back to all-time highs. In my opinion, not financial advice. I am very biased. We also saw Isaac here getting some pretty aggressive bids going on. Up 23% in the last 24 hours. Now that's after falling by more than 60, 70% here. Let's see what the actual number is. I think it's gonna be 80. 71.8% collapse in Isaac here, but he's climbing back up a bit. So clearly the market's still appreciating agents. It is agentic summer. At least it seems to be that. Creator bid really leading the charge on that one. Ooh. Things are looking not bad. The microcap IPTs, mostly everything's still chilling very low. We need to add SciMark to this. We see a big fall again? Nope, still chilling. It's crazy. I think this list is going to make millionaires. Yeah. Let's check the main watch list for a moment. This is not really my main watch list anymore, but it definitely has a lot of projects that I used to have heavy bags in. Remember, you guys remember large language model? RIP. Cyclics is on Solana now though. It's under $1 million market cap. That's fucked. The old Cyclics games chilling up at a $46 trillion market cap. We'd love to see it. Psy having a little bit of a struggling time in the market right now, but still holding decent. No, it's not. Never mind. I take that back. They are struggling for sure. But again, bio really does seem to be the leading indicator in the market for DeSci. So we had a pretty aggressive capitulation / double bottom here. Hopefully we can get some support and continue the rally. It also low-key reminds me of Creator Bid's chart. So keep an eye on it. Are you not bullish on those? What do you mean? Describe those, Beagle. Oh no, I broke my sticky notes again. I'm gonna stop playing with these. All right, let's end the poll here. We got some good data from that poll. Most of you guys, marginally, are not fearful of the market at all. We got 9 votes, 55% said no. So 5 of you are not fearful, 4 of you are fearful of this market on that older watch list. Let's go check the actual older watch list. Now we'll go through it. So bid, still bullish. Eagle AI, still bullish. Riff, still bullish. Large language model, I abandoned it. Not bullish anymore. It was just a meme at the time. It was a meme making fun of all the, like the Eliza OS type stuff and all of those. So no. Axon, I have to be bullish by default, even though I still am a little bit salty over the relationship that we had. Pyth AI, I've not looked into in quite some time. They are clearly still performing really good. Holy shit. This is, I mean, it'd be hard not to be bullish on this chart here. Damn, I did not realize that they'd climbed back from the darkness of the bear market like that. They had a crazy capitulation down 90%. And now from the bottoms, they've continued to go up 500%, peaking out at 550% up from the bottom. So clearly this one was something to buy the dips on. Then we got NSAI, Node Sphere. Not paid any attention to it, so by default, no longer bullish on them. Real automation powered by AI. It just seemed to be another one of those projects that kind of got a lot of excitement and then bled into the darkness of the bear market that we're currently in. Not really, but you guys get my point. Could it bounce right here? Potentially. Maybe it's not dead and you need to keep an eye on it. I just haven't been keeping an eye on it. Let's get back to the main watch list. We got Euro, still bullish. Mudo, still bullish. Research Coin, very bullish. Genome, the real one, very bullish. Lake, very bullish. Sturdy, very bullish. Bill, come on. Kong, very bullish. Currently it is essentially my only exposure to the DeSci, or to the ICP network. Sui token, no, I'm not paying any attention to it. Zaya, I'm very disappointed in what's gone on with Zaya. I've not seen anything, and I'm just very disappointed with what I've seen. I want to be very bullish on them because of the connections that they've gotten, but just disappointed. 0x, DNX, I mean, it's literally above my head. Very bullish. Psy, yes. Well, yes. Art, yes. Cyclics, I've got mixed feelings about. I'm not touching my bag. I'm just hanging on tight for the ride. I hope that CoinRock can pull through on this one, and I hope that Lucas can as well. I'm hanging on tight. Noble, of course. It's just been very disappointing, but I'm still bullish on them. And then Biard, you guys know I'm crazy bullish on the IP tokens, so that goes through that list. Adding Zaya to my JJ list of projects that flopped. RIP, JJ. I know. Poor Josh. I'm very, I already said it. I had such high hopes for it, and then it's just gone nothing. I think I lost like $5,000 on it, so definitely not super pleased with how that happened. But it is what it is, you know? Just part of the market. How's Tau doing? Tau at 300 yet again. This thing looks to be forming a crazy big wedge. You know, you see it? You see that? Kind of a bull flag, a little bit, depending on how you view it. Very large. Let's go to the weekly. Add the moving averages. Currently below all weekly moving averages, which means it's also below all daily moving averages, which is unfortunate. I'm very bullish on Tau. Just on a long enough time horizon, you know? Oh, also I figured out how to remove all drawings. Remove 2 drawings. Isn't that crazy? Such a simple thing that I was just unaware of. Canada. Mixed feelings everywhere, but at least you guys have a stable market, a president that doesn't want war, and lots of ally countries. Oh, God. Does he not want war though? Does he not want war? He just incited even more violence. Does he not want war? I know he's potentially protecting everything, but he is acting in very warlike activities here. Yeah, but America greater than Canada. IMO. I had a lot of things I wanted to touch on throughout DeSci here, but might not actually go through any of them. One thing I do think is very worth bringing up, we just get communism here. I know. Your old prime minister out here talking about Trudeau, saying how amazing China's government is and how he wishes that he could just control everything like they do. Oof, not a great look for freedom. But we have the BNB MicroStrategy coming to a company near you. So breaking news with Binance, a Binance treasury coming soon to the NASDAQ. A hedge fund executives eye $100 million to accumulate BNB token. So any of the projects on BNB potentially have some liquidity injections coming your way soon. 100 million is not too crazy of a purchase to come through, especially for something the size of BNB, but it does open the door to getting NASDAQ listed companies holding altcoins like BNB. But projects like Zaya, projects like BID out here potentially opening the door to more and more money flowing into them. Bio's on BID on Binance, right? Is it? I'm pretty sure it is. Crazy, exciting news coming out of CZ here with Binance. And a few other markets around the world, I've heard a few different companies doing this. So far, none are driven by me/us, but we are extremely supportive. Good to see. Love that. Liquidity everywhere. Not really, but that was the joke, Patrick. You guys got Trudeau'd, as I like to say. All right, well, the joke went over my head just a little bit, but so you're gonna have to deal with it a little bit. A little special today. The Data Lake.Fun initiative with SpineDAO, they closed out voting, and voters have chosen to contribute 500,000 Lake to Spine Diana Quest. So the fundraiser that was going on Lake.Fun is now over, with 500,000 Lake being contributed to SpineDAO for their next initiative, their next research initiative. SpineDAO really just continues to make waves across DeSci. They really are good at that marketing and partnership organization. And Data Lake, love to see their Lake.Fun platform getting more traction. Let's go check out the Lake token for a moment and just see how it's been doing. Down 2% today. It is falling below key support, sadly. And then does SpineDAO have their token liquid? I'm pretty sure they do. SpineDAO token chilling at a $1.8 million market cap, still trying to find a key support. It is a story as old as time. It really, look at this. You just keep getting the same pattern over and over again, where you get a quick capitulation, as that was a figure 8, not even a circle. You keep getting quick capitulations as likely big whales get out of SpineDAO, which is not ideal, you know? Eventually that sell pressure will have to subdue, but for the time being, it is not subduing at all. Have you heard from Yeti any? Dynex has been pretty quiet lately. I've not heard from Yeti in many, many days. Yeah, I've not heard from Yeti in a while. This market's just been effing people up. He could also have gotten sick again. I know the dude's prone to getting kind of sick because he only sleeps like 4 hours a night, which is the biggest mistake anyone could make. Bitcoin currently trying to hold 100K. Let's go closer to the intraday. We'll go to the 15-minute chart. Trying to hold 100K as we speak. It has now entered into circle territory. So ideally, we will see the breakout in the next couple of weeks here. Anytime from today all the way until whenever this is. Hopefully the circle prophecy comes true and we can get Bitcoin bouncing by the first week of July. So before the end of the 4th of July, I would like to see Bitcoin in the circle. So hopefully America Day can really keep things pushing. He could be running. He's training for that that half marathon. Crazy. Yeti responded in the Discord last week, I think said they are working full-time and are buckled in. I imagine that to be the case. I would bet that they are just hyper-fixated on delivering. Yeah. Again, Dynex was looking like it was going to hold this as support, and then it just didn't. But that's most of the market right now. Just had some key areas of support break. Like most of the market just had some pretty aggressive capitulations. So I'm still hanging on tight. I might add some more here when we can see signs of a bottom, or if we end up making another set of new lows, I will go purchase another bag of Dynex. All right, guys. Any more questions? DeSci is actually up 1.8% today. Solve going crazy, but likely not really. Is this the correct Solve token? Yeah, that might have been the correct Solve token. It's not going crazy at all. In fact, it's down 32%. So clearly these price actions are glitching a little bit. Isaac, VAIX, yes, no error, DNA, DeSci, Bio, RoomCon, Cures, Axon, Cryo, Research, Dynex, CryoRat, Noble, Red Genesis. Even though they abandoned the project, people are still purchasing it. All right, guys, your time is your most valuable asset, so I shall return your time to you. Thank you all very much for being here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Time will tell what happens to the market. We are in a waiting game for sure. I, again, believe Bitcoin will come down to the mid 90,000s, 95, 96,000, retest the 200-day moving average as support, build out that support, and then come back up to continue this bull run that we are currently on for the final leg of the market. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard.